unhook it, nothing. So there's a 90% chance that this battery is shot. Have water flowing through the system. Like you can hear the water pump working. You can feel the pressure on this line. Ryan's on the computer. He's poking buttons and doing things. We went from I think like we're actually like doing pretty good. I have no leaks because this will stay consistent when I leave it overnight. Okay, we're back. We're back, people, and I have good news and interesting news. I sealed the oil pan. I used 2.5 things of Honda Bond. One, because when I took it, I took the oil pan and I took the gasket that I had from Atkins, Honda Bond, gasket, then more Honda Bond up on the bottom of the engine. So we'll see what happens. I took a little bit of different steps from the last time that I did it, because the last time that I did it, what I did is I put the pan on, and then I had those big bolts that go through the bottom of the pan that go through my engine mount, and I stuck those in. But one thing I know I didn't do from the last time, because when I took it off, these the bolts were not that tight in the back. So I think that's one thing that also caused part of my issue, is that they weren't tight and really sealing down. But I have heard from like Will and Skeeter that you let it set a little bit and then you tighten everything up. But that's besides the point. They weren't tight at all. So I made sure those were tight. I've let this pan sit for 3 days before I put anything in it. I haven't changed anything. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the big bolts off. I'm gonna put on my engine mount that I don't see. So once I find that, I'll take those bolts out, put that in, put my steering rack back, and then I'll lower it down, move the engine over, and we'll fill it up and see what happens. Honestly, that's pretty much it. I put 7.5 quarts of oil in. I don't see anything leaking right now. So I'm gonna let it marinate, sit for a minute before I do anything else. But technically I'm ready to start. Just gotta add coolant to the system, fix that wire, or at least move it out of the way so it's not sitting on the downpipe. But like, I'm ready to start. I just need a laptop, because I really don't want to start this with a laptop right now, just because we're still in the early stages. But me and Ryan are about to get on the phone. Yesterday I started the car, and I'll throw the video in here, but I got a crank signal reference error, or signal reference, something that has to do with my cast. So we got to figure that out, and basically we're going to start fresh today. We have oil, we have coolant and stuff like that, so it's a lot easier now to kind of let the car run and stuff like that. So I know I'm going to be really bad at filming all this and what's going on, so I'm going to set the camera up when I'm in there, and I'll move it around. I'll try and explain as I go. But yeah, Ryan's on the computer, he's poking buttons and doing things. We went from ESP to NSP because NSP works better on my old dinosaur of a laptop here. So that's what we did, and Ryan is just adjusting some of the things that needed to be changed when we transferred over to NSP. So yeah. Okay, I have my phone right now just because this is kind of like a spur of the thing, like yeah, but as you can hear, you can see, we have water flowing through the system. Like you can hear the water pump working, you can feel the pressure on this line, and then you can even see like the effects. If I squeeze the line, it'll start to back up, things like that. So we have water circulating through the system. Right now I have the water pump running at 60% efficiency, one just for the battery, but It seems to be doing like pretty good right now. I can ramp it up if I want, but it's working. And so I've been trying to like just let it cycle through and really just get everything through the system. And the bubbles have been coming. So it's looking good right now. I'm gonna keep just cycling it through before I even try and start it again. It's great that I have an electric water pump because I can just do this without having to have the car on. So I can let the water just cycle through the whole system and just keep going. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. But it's looking good. I mean, you can look right down there. Oh God. And you can kind of see some of the motion, some of the bubbles, like some of the smaller bubbles coming up. You can see some action in the funnel, but we're looking good right now. All right, so back in the garage today, and don't worry about that. That's just 2015 U-Torn. But back in the garage, and one thing that I'm doing, and like I showed in the other video, is what I've been doing is I've been going into the software, and I've been letting the water pump just run. You know, if the battery gets low or anything like that, I just charge it. But I have been just letting the water pump run, and it's definitely got flow going through both lines. And then what I do is, in order to get or do my best to get the air bubbles out, I will come over here, generics, water pump, and then I can see where the temp is at, and I can change the cycle. So like I can put this on 75%. And then you hear the water pump start to cycle. It's going through the system. Yeah, like it's pumping water right now, so yeah. That's what I've been doing. And as of right now, like I don't see any air bubbles. I think like we're actually like doing pretty good. I have no leaks because this has stayed consistent when I leave it overnight. And if there was leaks or anything like that, I would see more on the floor, and we would definitely see more air in the system. But as of right now, it's just pumping. I don't really see much else. I'll probably see more when I turn the car on, and we'll see what happens. But as of right now, it's pumping good. Everything's doing what it's supposed to do. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna start it today, and as long as I don't get that code, I'll just let it idle for a little bit and see what happens. I've let it cycle. I'm gonna start it now and see what happens. Obviously gonna move stuff out of the way that doesn't need to be there, but I'm gonna start it and we'll see what happens. So yeah, BRB. Darkness, my old friend. If it's not one thing, it's another. Figured out my watering, not figured it out, but you know, like I'm pretty confident on this water solution. Go and try and start the car. Oh, what happens? Battery dies. Battery is just like dead. And I've been trying to like figure it out because at this point I was like, dude, it's gotta be something with my wiring, gotta be something. I don't know what the fuck it was. So you heard it in the video. You just hear it like it's on. And it's just. You hear all the relays and my throttle body just kind of clicking. I'm just like, so then I'm sitting here, I'm just like, it's gotta be something with my wiring. Check on my wiring. I know I'm not like some wiring guy, but like check on my wiring, everything is fine. No wires are like melted, nothing. I'm like, okay. Check on my grounds, nothing, okay. So then finally I just pulled out these jumper cables, hooked it up to Lexi, and then put the key in, and then I hear my fuel pumps, just real slow. I'm like, oh. Battery is super dead. But weird thing, battery charger saying, oh look at that, 95% charged. I unhook it, nothing. So there's a 90% chance that this battery is shot. So I gotta figure that out. So I'll probably just get either just some random old battery from like AutoZone, or I'll see if I can like send it to anti-gravity batteries. Maybe they could help me out, not sure. So yeah, and I don't care. I don't. If I have to go out and buy some big ass battery, whatever I need, I don't care. I'll fucking binder clip all my eyelets together and just stick them in the thing, and we'll see what happens, because this car is gonna run. I don't give a damn how I do it. So yeah.